Alrighty, how's everybody doing? So I want to talk about a opportunity for a passive income node that I know on the last Zoom we did last week. I know a couple of you guys expressed some interest in that. So I want to bring your attention to Presearch, right? And just looking at it from on CoinGecko here, right? It's number 423 in market cap. You can come over to CoinGecko. You can look at all the information on it. Currently, you can only buy it, well, at least in the US, you can only buy it on KuCoin. If you're outside of the US, you can do a couple other things with it. But KuCoin right now, I mean, you can see it's trading at about $2 million in volume in the last 24 hours. There is 118 million in market cap. You can come over here, look at the white paper. Essentially, it's a decentralized search engine. Okay. I've been kind of watching this for a while. I actually was waiting for it to pull back because it's actually pulled back about 50%. If you look here at the data over on overview, all-time high was about 81 cents back in 2018, almost 4 years ago, right? So this has been around for a while. And then all-time low, was in 2019. So coming over here to the chart real quick, you could just see what it's done as of recent, right? And we could see that we're getting some really good pushes to the upside. What I was actually waiting for was for price once we were up here. I wanted to see a nice little pullback. So I actually got in around like the 20-cent mark. I'm not really looking to do too much with it as far as a margin trading, but as far as an investment side, I do like it. And I've told, especially people in my group, that, if price gets in, below 25 cents would be an opportune time to jump in and start staking it, because essentially that's what you have to do. All right. So moving on over, we pretty much looked at how the market cap, it's what I say, a 423, 424. It's its rank in the market cap. Come over to presearch.org though. And again, it's just a search engine, right? When you do searches for it, you can see up here in the top right-hand corner, I've done 40.21 Presearch is what I've done this month so far. So every month I kind of cash out of it. All you would have to do, and I'll drop a link below in this video. If you sign up through that link, it's going to give you 25 Presearch, right off the bat. You get 25, but you come over here, you just create an account, and you'll see it gives you kind of a lot of great information. I'm using Chrome, so it does have a Chrome extension. So anytime I do a search, right, we'll do a search for Presearch nodes, right, and you'll see that when all right, maybe not. Hold on. Let's see. There we go. Okay. So you'll see, I guess maybe I was logged in on another computer. It just jumped up and I just got a payment for it. So you'll get paid a minimum or a maximum of 30 pre every day for searches that you do. And you can see if you want to jump over to Google, right, just click on the Google little link and it'll take you right back over here. All right. So I'm pretty, like I said, I've been using it for a while. I cash out of it, we'll go back into Presearch nodes, right? There we go. And what you want to do is once you create that account, okay, once you create that account, just come over here to run a node. All right. And I will drop the link for this and it's going to talk you exactly how to do it. There's pretty much two ways to do it. You can do it from a VPS, or you can do it from, from your home. I currently, I'm running it on a Raspberry Pi. I bought a pretty cheap Raspberry Pi for like 40 bucks. Uses very little power. And I've got it actually up on my mining rig in the garage, just plugged into my Ethernet switch. So walking through the steps, pretty self-explanatory. All right. The first thing you have to do is you have to install the Docker on whether you're going to do a VPS or you're going to put it on a computer-based, whether it's a Raspberry Pi, an old computer you're using, or anything like that. The key is this, right? So as of right now, and it used to be 1,000 pre, but now it's 2,000 pre. You have to stake 2,000 pre. So the first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to come over here to, and you're going to have to purchase those pre tokens, right? Again, it's a staking. That's all you have to do. And it'll talk to you exactly how to do it, right? The main thing that you'll have to do is, and we'll come over here, I'll kind of give you guys a walkthrough. So you come over here to buy tokens, right? Just click on the menu, buy tokens. Now you can buy through an exchange on KuCoin, or you can just come directly here, come over to buy tokens, and you'll see that you need to do 2,000 pre, right? So 2,000 pre, at current value, it's $659 US. You can purchase that through a wire transfer, credit card, or you can transfer Ethereum or Bitcoin. And when you do that, it'll walk you through the steps on how, if you're going to do in crypto, how to send it over via a wallet. Now, once you do that, okay, coming back over to run a node, all right, and again, I'll drop the link for it. So we'll come back over here and run a node, all right. You're going to have to install that information that you're going to be looking for. Okay. The first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to download the Docker. Okay. And the main thing that you're going to want to see is, and I've already downloaded it, but I'm going to walk you guys through it. Okay. So let's come over here to the dashboard. Okay. And when you come to your dashboard, you'll see that I've already staked my 2,000. I did it yesterday. It's going to give you a registration code that you'll be able to copy. And you'll see that I set this up yesterday, right? Yeah, the 22nd. Set it up yesterday, and I've currently, only 6 searches have been made on mine. And it wasn't up for the entire day. Like, I've been doing some stuff with it. So I've made just about 1 pre, which is not huge profits. Pre's trading at 33 cents. So I've made 33 cents in 24 hours. But this is long term, right? This is more of a of a long term thing that I'm looking at doing. Even if I make $1 a day, that's still pretty decent for me, because I'm not using any power for this. So the ROI on it is pretty good. And the way I'm looking at this, it's got a lot of upside potential. All right. So coming over, you're going to, and I'll drop this link right here for the Presearch setup, but this is how you set it up. Okay. Again, if you're going to do the VPS, pretty simple. You just click on this and it's going to walk you through step-by-step how to do it in whatever cloud you're going to do. All right. I'm going to walk you through how to do it on the Raspberry Pi. Again, minimum requirements is you need a Raspberry Pi, right? 3 or higher. So currently they're on the 4. You need a 3 or a 4. All right. If you're going to get them, my suggestion is just buy 4. They're pretty cheap. You need a minimum of a 16 gigabyte SD card. The current one I'm using is a 32. Those are pretty cheap as well. You can pick them up. I picked mine up on Amazon for, I think, like $9 for a 32 gig. And you can run it Wi-Fi off the Raspberry Pi. I'm personally just using it on an Ethernet cable through a switch. All right. Once you get that, all right, the first thing you got to do is you need to download, right, the operating system for the Raspberry Pi. So just click on this blue link right here. It's going to download the operating system. From there, you're going to need to install or you're going to have to put your card reader into your computer. All right. And then after that, just download the image tool if you don't have it. All right. So what it's going to look like is this. I'll just share my desktop. Okay. So what it'll look like is if I come down to, let's open up the imager. Here. All right. So once the imager gets opened up, and it's thrown on this side here. You're going to choose that operating system and step by step, exactly how you have to do this, right? So it walks you through. You need to choose the operating system, go all the way down to use custom. So just scroll all the way down to use custom. All right, once that's there, what you need to find is the zip file that you just downloaded, right? I believe, I think I've deleted it. Let's see. Yeah, I deleted it. Okay, no worries. So all you're going to do is just click on the image file that you're going to have. You're going to click open, okay? And long story short, I did this video yesterday, but I forgot to unmute the mic. So that's why I'm just kind of going back through it. So once you click on it, use custom, the next thing you're going to do, click on that zip file, choose your storage device, and you should have, whether you're doing it on a Mac or a Windows-based, you'll have that SD card that boots up. Go ahead and click that, and then you're going to hit write. All right, it's going to ask you if you want to overwrite it and erase every data. Yes, it's going to take about 20-25 minutes for everything to get done. You're going to get this message saying that it was successful. And then from there, you can go ahead and pull your SD card out and put it into your Raspberry Pi. All right. After that is done, you know, I had my Raspberry Pi clicked over here right on the monitor to my right. You know, it's going to bring you to this welcome screen. On this welcome screen, just click next to get started. And you're going to see it's going to go through some configuration, country, language, time zone. I really recommend putting a new password into your Raspberry Pi. The default password, I believe, is just Raspberry. Go through your screen settings, and then this is where you can go ahead and input your Wi-Fi if you're going to run it off Wi-Fi. Now, in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see your IP address. So the IP address that I had on mine was like 192.168.50.39, and I made that in my router. I just logged in to my DHCP settings, and I just made that a static IP, so it's always 39. All right, and then after that, it's going to go ahead, install some updates, let it do the install. You're going to have to restart your Raspberry Pi. So restart it. And once it comes back up on, you're going to click in the top left-hand corner. So this is the top left-hand corner of the screen. You're going to go over to terminal, right? And all you're going to do is just copy these two, right? You're going to run the first command just as it is here. Put it into your Raspberry Pi. It's going to go ahead and start downloading the actual Docker, okay? And then after it's done, you know, it's going to take about 3-4 minutes. Go ahead and just add your user to the permissions group. Once that's done, you are done with the Raspberry Pi. You can go ahead, take it off, and you can put it wherever you're going to be running the node. So again, mine was in the garage. Now, after that is set for the next thing that you're going to have to do is you're going to install the actual Presearch node, because right now you just have the Docker that's on there and you have the Raspberry Pi operating system. So once you get that, just click on node setup instructions, right? So once you are there, you're going to have to now go, if you're on a Mac, open up terminal, right? If you're on a Windows program, just go ahead and open up you know, the same thing pretty much. You're just going to open up your terminal, and you're going to have to log in. Now, I did have some issues, right? And the key thing is, and I believe this part of the video does have audio, so it's going to be all right. If you go ahead and you type in, you know, for me, it is pi at 192.168.50.39. All right. You could see like it would say that, well, command not found, but because I forgot SSH, right? SSH pi at 192.168.50.39. Boom. Okay. And then my password. Okay. So I'm in my Presearch node. You can see it right here, Presearch, all this stuff. If it gives an error, right, that it's, you know, permission denied or unfounded, what you need to do, right, the first thing you have to do is come over here to top left-hand corner of your Raspberry Pi before you disconnect it. when you click on the little raspberry there, it's going to go to preferences. Under preferences, you have to enable SSH, right? It's defaulted disabled. So you have to just click the little shade in area for enable, and then it'll ask you to restart it. Okay. Once you're done with that, you just got to set up the Presearch node, right? So if you're on the Raspberry Pi side, right? This is where you need to go back over to your node. You need to make sure that you have your code, right, that automatically generates once you create the account. You're going to need that. So after installing the Docker and going to the dashboard to get your node, all you have to do is, if whether you're running it through the Windows command line or Linux or a Mac, right, just copy and paste this entire thing, right? So what you would do is you would copy this entire line, right? After logging in, copy the entire line. You're going to paste it in, okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to have to delete all the way back to this area right here where it says equals your registration code here, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to have to just delete that line all the way back to the equal sign, come back over, right? You're going to copy your registration code. You're going to paste it right in here, all right? And then after you paste it, go ahead and copy the rest of the line, all right? Make sure you put your space in. So put your space in and then essentially just paste it in, and then you're gonna hit enter. After that, it's going to go ahead and start pulling the Presearch data in, and you're complete. At the very end, you're gonna see this screen, and it's going to say that node is listening for searches, right? And that is it. That's all you need. Everything else after that is if someone's actually using you as the search engine. But as soon as it says node is listening for searches, you're completely done. If you want to manually stop it or start it, right, you can just use these commands, right? You can just type it right into your terminal. If you need to restart it, so, for some reason, if I get an email, right? If I get an email that, for some reason that the node is down, I can just log into my terminal and I can restart the node. Okay, I can restart it. So coming back in, like I said, it is SSH pi at the, there we go, type in my password. And I can do this right here, and I can just check to see what it's actually doing. So here it is. It's giving me a complete list of what's going on. There's a couple errors, but it's nothing really major. It's just errors at the end. If I need to manually stop my node, we can just do these two command lines. If I need to restart it, I can. All right. If I want to check to see if it is running, I can just copy that. And you can see all the data in here on the Presearch is actually working for itself. And I can just obviously just type that in. So pretty self-explanatory. You can do everything from the terminal. You don't need it to be plugged into a monitor or anything like that. All right. And that's pretty much it. What you want to make sure is once you have it up and running, right? It takes seconds. Come over down here and just make sure it pops up. This is where you can go into your descriptions. And, obviously this is where in the video I did yesterday that does have sound, you'll, in about 5 seconds, once I'm done with this part, I'm going to just put it into the end of the video here. You'll be able to stake your Presearch, give it a description. I have an email being sent to me if it disconnects and when it reconnects, and then you're just going to click update. All right, that is it. And you can run many of these. Obviously, you can only run one from your IP address, so from your residence. So the rest can all be VPSs. And that's it. That's all it takes for this Presearch node. So again, pretty self-explanatory. I'll drop the links below. And if you guys are interested in doing something like this, by all means, it's just another link to a passive income. So with that, enjoy and have a good one. Okay, alrighty. So we're back. What you're looking at here is, so we've We've put the operating system on. It's been written. Go ahead and just follow the command. Obviously, I've got it on the other monitor here, the Raspberry Pi. And all you got to do is you're going to see your welcome message. Click next. It's going to install the updates. Once it installs, you have to click restart here to properly restart it. Next, you have to go ahead and install the Docker, right? You have to install the Docker. And it's pretty simple. You're going to go up to the top left-hand corner. You're going to open up terminal, and you're just going to type out this command, curl SSL, the web address for Docker. Make sure you put that space. Make sure you put all of it exactly how it is. And then you're going to add your Docker permissions group, right? You're simply just going to copy that line in and paste it in. From there, right? From there, the next thing you have to do is you have to go into top left-hand corner. You're going to click on Raspberry Pi symbol right here. You're going to open up and you're going to go to preferences, and under preferences, you're going to go to Raspberry Pi configuration. When you open that up, under interfaces, right? Under interfaces, it's the second line just below camera. It's SSH. You need to enable that. Once that's enabled, hit OK. It's going to ask you to restart. And then once you restart it, now you can go ahead from your Windows or your Mac computer. You can go ahead and open up terminal, right? So I've got terminal open here, and all you're going to do is now you're going to access the SSH, right? So SSH, let's see, SSH Pi at, and when you log into your Raspberry Pi, once you're going through the setup page over here, once you're going through the setup page and everything, it's going to ask you to, set your country, language, time zone, keyboard, update your password. And then, obviously in the bottom right-hand corner, I believe it's down here, it's going to tell you the IP address it's on. So I created a static IP for it. So it's always going to be the same information. It's always going to be the same IP address. So this is the IP address, put in the password. There we go. All right, so now we're in, right? And then from there, what we're going to do is we are going to now copy and paste. So essentially all you're going to do is come over here to node, right? The first thing you need to do is get your registration code. So click on the dashboard. It's going to bring you over to this. You're going to just click copy your registration code, okay? And before you copy it, what you want to do is, depending if you're on a Windows or Linux or Mac, you're just going to copy this entire code right here, right? So you can see you must insert your registration code from step number 2 above in the script by replacing it right at your registration code here, okay? So just make sure, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy the entire thing, right? I'm going to dump it into the terminal. Right? Dump it into the terminal. And then the only thing I need to do now is I need to replace it with my registration code. So just come over here to copy. And we need to now just come here to exactly where the $sign starts, right? At registration code here, right? So we can see here's the $sign. I'm just going to delete that. And then I am going to essentially, hold on, I gotta add a node. So we're just going to come here, delete up to the $sign right there. Come back over to my node. I'm going to copy. I'm going to drop it in here. Okay. And then right after that, all I'm going to do is get my last part of the code, copy it, space, drop it in, hit enter. All right, and let it then update the, there we go. Now it's updating it. So we're going to let it run through. Okay, so here we go. So now it is creating your Presearch node, and we're good. That is all you needed to do. So now, once we have that, we're going to be able to now see this node on the actual dashboard. So we're going to jump over there right now. Okay, so now we go back over to our dashboard, right? So once you come back over to your dashboard and we see, you know, obviously it's running, it's listening, it's working. Come over to your node, you should see it pop up right down in here. So I'm going to throw in a quick description, right? And what we got to do is I have the token here that I need to stake. So I'm going to throw in 2000 pre to stake my description. Let's see. I want to send an email on disconnect, send an email on reconnect. Yes. We'll hit update. Node updated. Perfect. Back to node lists. Perfect. All right. So, oh, wait, you know what? And I do want to label it. So description, I'm just going to throw in Raspberry Pi. Okay. So we are good. And like I said, I'll drop the links for all of this in the bottom. So we have it here. It is connected. And we'll start to see some searches and everything in here, right? You can run the stats from your dashboard. Yeah, okay, awesome. So that's it. This is done. So I'm going to throw this, and it's I have mine connected via Ethernet. I'm going to throw this in the garage on my mining rig. It uses very little power, and go from there. So hopefully this gives you guys a quick little run through how to do that. You know, pretty simple. You do everything on the back end. Make sure you just copy and paste it in as it is, and go from there. Awesome. I'll catch you guys later.